In the invisible realm, a silent war rages on. Microscopic entities, far smaller than bacteria, wage constant battles against life as we know it. These are viruses, the ultimate opportunists, existing in a liminal space between the living and the non-living. They are masters of infiltration, hijacking the very machinery of cells to serve their own nefarious purposes. Their impact on the living world is undeniable, shaping the evolution of organisms and driving the emergence of diseases that plague plants, animals, and humans alike. This is the story of viruses, the invisible invaders. What exactly is a virus? The answer is deceptively simple. A virus is a microscopic package of genetic material encased in a protein shell. Unlike cells, which possess the complex machinery required for independent life, viruses are little more than genetic blueprints seeking a willing host. They lack the ability to generate their own energy or synthesize proteins. In essence, they are inert particles until they encounter a suitable cell to infect. Once inside, however, they spring to life, commandeering the host's cellular machinery to replicate themselves, often to the detriment of the host. The question of whether viruses can be considered alive is a matter of ongoing scientific debate. While they exhibit some characteristics of living organisms, such as the ability to evolve and replicate, they lack many others. They do not possess a cellular structure, the fundamental unit of life. They cannot metabolize nutrients or generate energy on their own. Perhaps most importantly, they rely entirely on host cells for reproduction. This dependence on other life forms has led many scientists to classify viruses as non-living entities. Viruses are notoriously picky eaters. They exhibit a high degree of host specificity, meaning that a particular virus may only be capable of infecting a limited range of species. For example, the human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, primarily infects humans. This specificity is determined by the interaction between viral proteins and receptor molecules on the surface of host cells. Furthermore, viruses often display tissue tropism, a preference for infecting specific types of cells within a host. The rabies virus, for instance, exhibits a strong tropism for nerve cells. Section 5. A hostile takeover, the lytic cycle of viral reproduction. The lytic cycle is a common mode of viral reproduction that results in the destruction of the infected cell. It begins with the attachment of the virus to the host cell surface, often mediated by specific receptor interactions. The virus then penetrates the cell, injecting its genetic material into the host's cytoplasm. Once inside, the viral genome hijacks the host's cellular machinery, forcing it to produce viral proteins and replicate the viral genome. These components then assemble into new viral particles which are released from the cell, often through lysis or bursting of the host cell. These newly released viruses can then go on to infect other cells, perpetuating the cycle. Section 6. Classification conundrums. Where do viruses fit in? The classification of viruses has long posed a challenge to biologists. Their unique characteristics and their position on the fringes of life have made it difficult to place them neatly within existing taxonomic systems. Unlike cellular organisms, which are classified into 3 domains, bacteria, archaea, and eukarya, viruses occupy a separate category altogether. The International Committee on Taxonomy of Viruses, or ICTV, has developed a hierarchical system for classifying viruses based on factors such as their genome type, morphology, and replication strategy. Despite these efforts, the classification and evolutionary relationships among viruses remain active areas of research. Section 7. Nature's genetic tinkerers, viruses, and horizontal gene transfer. Viruses are not simply agents of disease, they also play a significant role in shaping the evolution of life on Earth. They are masters of horizontal gene transfer, the movement of genetic material between organisms other than by vertical descent. Viruses can pick up fragments of host DNA during infection and transfer them to new hosts. This process, known as transduction, can introduce new genes into populations, potentially contributing to genetic diversity and evolutionary innovation. Section 8. from whence they came, theories on viral origins. The origin of viruses is a topic shrouded in mystery. Several hypotheses have been proposed, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. One theory suggests that viruses originated from fragments of cellular DNA or RNA that escaped from their cellular confines and acquired the ability to replicate independently. Another posits that viruses represent remnants of ancient pre-cellular life forms. A third hypothesis proposes that viruses evolved from more complex cellular organisms that underwent reductive evolution, shedding unnecessary genes and becoming increasingly reliant on host cells. The true origin of viruses remains an open question, and it is possible that different groups of viruses arose through different mechanisms. Section 9, a world of diversity. The vast spectrum of viruses. The world of viruses is incredibly diverse. They infect a vast array of hosts, from bacteria to plants to animals, and they exhibit a stunning range of shapes, sizes, and genetic makeups. Some viruses, like the influenza virus, are enveloped in a lipid membrane derived from the host cell, while others, like the poliovirus, have a naked protein capsid. Their genomes can be composed of DNA or RNA, single-stranded or double-stranded, linear or circular. This diversity reflects the long and intertwined evolutionary history of viruses and their hosts. Understanding this diversity is crucial for developing effective strategies to combat viral diseases.